How can I have difficult conversations in an effective way? Having difficult conversations in an effective way. Contrary to what I usually do, now, most times when I answer questions, I try to point that this is your responsibility, this is what you need to do. But in this situation, it's not something that can happen with just one person doing the work. So if you as a person now you are willing to have this difficult conversation, I want it to work, but that other person is not positioned in the right way to make that difficult conversation happen, it's not going to happen. And for context, difficult conversations are things that can get very emotional, things that can either make or mar the relationship. That probably something is hurting you very deeply, and it is also something that if you raise is going to hurt the other person deeply. So it is difficult to find the balance. That's what we mean by difficult conversation. So the way to do this now on your own part, since it's just you we are that we have here now, is try as much as possible to ensure that you are communicating for understanding, to convey your thoughts across, and to get the other person into your world, to make them see what you are seeing, to make them feel what you are feeling. That is the goal of your communication. You are not doing it to win an argument. You are not doing it to make the other person feel inferior. You are not doing it to make the other person feel bad. You are not doing it to put yourself in the right. No, that is not the goal of the conversation. The only goal of the conversation is to allow the person see what you are seeing. Now, it is important that I state this, because many times when people try to have difficult conversation, they end up messing it up by just probably criticizing the person, putting on the doing a blame game, and nothing works. So you are not there to blame, you are not there to criticize, you are just there to make the person see what you see. That's phase one. Then the second phase, you are there to see what the other person sees as well. That is when that balance is going to come. Now, after this is settled, you might want to prepare the person, that's your partner, beforehand and say, okay, I want to discuss something, and this thing I want to discuss with you is something that is very sensitive, and it might cause a lot of hurt, it might bring up a lot of emotions, but it is important for me that we discuss this, because if we don't discuss this, this and this is going to happen. I'm no longer going to feel safe in this relationship. I might begin to withdraw, and in the long run, everything is going to end. But since I value this relationship, I want us to have this conversation, and I will need you to be as open as and honest with me as well, in letting me know where you stand on this. Let's assume what's on ground is that they're not giving you enough time and attention, and the reason why they are not doing that is because their work is very overwhelming. So you know that if you cannot just ask that I want all the time and attention, and the person will neglect their work. So you just take it in that progression, and while you are stating your own part, you also let the person know that I understand where you are coming from, and I want you to help me understand where you're coming from as well, but this is what I want. And if you notice it is beginning to get very mushy, very emotional, and getting towards insults and blame, you can just take a break and say, okay, no, this is not what I intended. I don't like the way this is going. I never intended for us to fight. This is not what I want. It's something that's going to happen with you making little adjustment here, little adjustment there. That if you notice the conversation is going towards a line that you never intended it, everybody's blaming each other. No, you throw it back and say, no, I never wanted to blame you. I didn't come here to blame you. Or if you notice they're the ones blaming you, say, no, this is not an issue of blame. I'm not putting you in the wrong. Because many times when people are blaming, it's because they think you are trying to put them in the wrong. So you make that clarification, and you just do it two ways and two ways and two ways. Just like I said earlier, this is something that is almost difficult for it to happen if only one person is putting in the work. For a difficult conversation to happen, both parties have to be willing that, okay, we are going to have this conversation. So while you are doing this, the other person should be doing this as well, ensuring that you both of you are in the middle and not falling into blame, not falling into criticism, not stonewalling, nobody's being defensive. These are the factors that must be in place for difficult conversations to take place. But you can be a catalyst though. You can just try to push the person towards having this. And by setting that good example, they might begin to see light in what you are doing and see that you value the relationship and see that you want things to work and to make adjustments as well.